Hi everybody, once again you are welcome to this wonderful Power BI tutorial 6 revenue. This is a real life project and I'm going to be teaching you how to build this wonderful and astonished Power BI. This is a project from Power BI himself, country as you can see. Revenue by country where we have US, Australia, Japan, Nigeria, Germany, Mexico, and Canada. This is the total revenue, 2.91 billion. So we are going to be analyzing this data and we are going to be starting from the scratch. If you are a beginner or you are an advanced user, there are a lot to benefit from this wonderful tutorial. And these are the steps that we are going to be taking. Let me take you back to here. Number one, we're going to be uploading our data. 2, we will go to data preparation. So we are going to be preparing our data. Then 3, data modeling and exploration. Then the 4th part is going to be data visualization. So I believe you wouldn't want to miss this wonderful tutorial. By uploading our data, by processing by preparing our data, which is data preparation, data modeling / exploration, then data visualization. What you are seeing here contains all the 4 steps, but the last one you are seeing, which is the data visualization. So you are just seeing the dashboard, which is the last step, data visualization. But we'll be starting everything from the scratch, which is uploading our data preparation, data modeling / exploration, then we move to data visualization. Already I've opened a blank Power BI. Here, as you can see, I have my own blank Power BI, and we are going to be uploading our data, which is the first step. After we upload our data, then we go to data preparation. Let's take this wonderful ride together. Please, if you are new to this channel, this is what we do. We build visualization around data by using Microsoft Power BI and use Microsoft Excel to build dashboard and report. We also have some tutorial on SQL. If you are a beginner, we have that, and also we have some tutorial in Python, which is analyzing data with Python. Also we have video on that, and also we continue also from those videos. Please, if you are new once again to this channel and you find this video interesting, you find this useful, please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe, please comment, and please share. Thank you. So the first thing we're going to do, we are going to be uploading our data, and I'm going to be using a blank report. From the blank report, so we click on the blank report. So from the blank report, we wait for our Power BI to open, which is what we have now. Then from there, the next thing I'm going to do is I will go to get data. Remember, I used to upload data from here, or either I use it, but today we are going to get our data from here. Just click on get data. So clicking here, it will open. We can rather also choose here. We can also get our data from here as well. So it's also the same thing. So the next thing I'm going to click, I'm going to file. From file, I go to test/CSV. Then I will click connect. That is where I have the first data in test/CSV. So I go to, this is where my data is. Then I will go to data, and I will go to yes cells. Then I have my CSV. So I have my CSV. Then I will open my first data. Then the next thing is, we're taking the first step now. The first step is uploading data. So when we upload the data, then that is when we go to data preparation. So we are still at the first step. Don't forget I said we are going to have 4 steps: data, uploading data, data preparation, data modeling and exploration, then data visualization. So we have our data here. So that is exactly what we need. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on transform data. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to transform the data, and this is take us to the Power Query. So that is the first step we are going to do in uploading our data. Then we wait for the Power Query editor to open. So we have this as the Power Query editor. This is our Power Query editor, as you can see, untitled because we have not given it a name. So we have this already, and that is actually nice. Then the next thing we are going to do, we are also going to upload a new data because we need about 4 to 5 data. So we'll have to be uploading them one after the other. So we have this, which is perfectly good. Then the next thing we are going to do, we can as well then we go to new source. From the new source, we click the new source. And from the new source, we can just connect to Excel because that is what the second data is. So we click connect immediately. And from there, I'm going to get my by dimension. Then I'm going to click opened. Then we are going to add this data to it. That is the second data we are going to upload. Then we wait for the data actually. Then this is our navigator bar. Already we have it, and we are going to pick the product table. We're going to pick the product table. Then we are going to pick the geo. Then we are going to pick the manufacturer. These are the 3 tables that we need. Then I'm going to click OK. So we are going to have the 3 data here. This is still the first step, uploading our data. Then we wait for it. Then we have the other 2 data there. So we have our sales, then we have our product table, then we have our geo, then we have our manufacturer. Then we upload the 4th data. Then we go to new source. From the new source, we go to folder. From the folder, we connect because we are having this in another format. So that is why we are using folder this time around. Then where is the folder? I'm going to browse where my folder is. Then I will come down to my download. From the download, I will come down to, I will just look for where I stored the data. Then I will go to data as well. It should be one of those places. Then I will go to international sales. Then I will click OK. Then also I will OK it. Then we have the 4 data. Then what am I going to do here is, we have different data combined. I'm going to combine and transform. I can't transform this data directly because these are combination of different data. So what am I going to do is I'm going to combine and I'm going to transform the data rather than transform alone. So we click combine and transform. So we are done with the first step, which is uploading our data. So we've uploaded our data. So the next thing is we are going to start with data preparation. Then we click OK. We have it that way. Let's wait so that we have the 4th one here. Then from then we begin our data preparation. Everything is actually correct here. Then the next thing we are going to do, we start from the sales. Okay, we are still waiting for this to fully open. That is good. We start from here. We don't need this, so we remove this socks name. Let's remove it. You can either remove, right click, removed, or you go to remove arrows or remove column and also remove from there. But from here we can as well right click and remove. When you say remove other columns, that means you are removing everything here. Either you right click remove or you go to remove column and you specify the column you want to remove. So for the easier one, right click, we remove because we don't need it. That one is there already. Then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to change our zip to text. The reason we are doing this is because we have some country that have their zip in text, so we are going to use a text. That is the first one. Then the next thing we are going to do, we have our unit sales, that is good. Then we have our revenue. Everything is perfect about the revenue. We can leave it like that. We have our country. Let's check the country. Let's click here and see load all. So we want to see the number of countries that we have. Now we are in the second stage, which is the data preparation. So in the data preparation, we are preparing our data. That is what we are actually doing. And please, if you find this video interesting, if you find this video useful, please subscribe, please comment, please share. So we have everything complete here. That is good. Then the next thing is we can actually cancel or okay. So everything is perfectly done here. So we have nothing to change. Yeah, the data type is correct. This is whole number. That is good. This is our date. This is also a number, but we are making it a text because of the zip. Then we have our unit. That is good. Then we have our revenue. So our revenue is a decimal. That's good. Then we have our country as a text. So the next thing is we are going to rename it. We are just going to put a dash between this, which make it international sales. Then we come down to manufacturer. We come down to manufacturer. Let's wait for the manufacturer table. Now we are in the manufacturer. Maybe we come down to the manufacturer later, and we're going to make the manufacturer the last one. Let's go back to sales. This is the first data we upload. Also, we have a revenue here as well. Then we have our units. Then we have our date. Then we have our product. And also we have our zip. We are going to turn the zip also to text. Let's click here. Let's make it a text. Replace. Yes. So we have it as text. That is good. Then we go to product table. Then from the product table, the first thing we are going to rename it as products. Then I'm going to click enter. Now we have another thing here. You can see we have miss, we have rural, we have rural, and we have no. So this is the formula we are going to use. We are going to right click. No, not even right click this time around. I will tell you what we can do. So let's click out. Let's come down to here. Let's have it from here. Let's go to test to filter, and we are going to fill. That is what we are going to do. We are going to fill everything. You can see we have no. So we are not going to remove any null from here. So we come down here. We highlight the table. After highlighting the table, the next thing we do, we right click. You come down to fill, then we fill down. Do you remember what I'm saying? You right click, go to fill. From fill, we fill down. Let's fill down. And let's see. So we have everything complete. You can see. By that, we have the actual number. Then the next thing we are going to do, we are going to split this. Remember, this is a price, and we can't use this price with USD. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to click on this. Then we are going to split. Let's come down here. You can also right click from here. Let's right click and split. column, split by the delimiter. So we just come to by delimiter. And let's wait for it to open. What we have space in between. Then the next thing is okay, because select or enter delimiter. Already we have space because we want to remove the number. We want to remove the USD, which is the text, from the number. So the next thing is we click OK. And let's see. So you can see we have everything done. Then we'll rename this as price. We rename this as price. Then enter. We actually don't need this any longer, so we are going to remove it. You can right click and remove. So this is still the data preparation level that we have. Then the next thing we are going to do is we go to the product. We want to split the product, and we want to have the product in category and also in products. So that is what we are going to do. And what are we going to use? Look and see, we have a dash line. That is what we are going to use to split. So we click, right click, then go to split column by delimiter. Then we split by delimiter. Then custom splits, we are going to use, I've told you what we are going to use. We are going to use this formula, and I'm going to show you what we are going to use to split it. So we are splitting it by, we have a dash line. So that is the dash line we are going to use to split it. So that is what we are going to use to split. And the next thing is we are going to click OK. Let's OK it and let's see. So you can see we have our section, and we have abas, which is going to be our product and which is going to be our category. Then we're going to name this our segment. So this is our segment, and we're going to name this our products. Just remove the one and just put product. That is the second one. So we are done with this. Everything's perfectly okay. Everything is okay. Then we go to our geo. Then we are going to name it as geography. So we are naming this as geography. Then the first thing we are going to do is, you can see we are going to remove this column. This row. We are going to remove this or this row. Then what should we do? Then we go to home. From home, we say remove row. Let's remove top rows because we are removing the top rows. 1, 2. So that is what we are removing. Removing top row. So we remove top row and let's wait for it. How many rows? We are removing 2 rows. We are removing this and this. That is what we are doing. You understand here? We go to home. From home, we go to remove rows. And this is, then we click on top rows. Probably let me cancel it again. From home, go to remove rows. Then we want to remove top rows. Then we are going to specify how many rows to remove from the top. We want to remove 2 rows from the top, which is 1, 2. Then we make it 2. Then we click OK. Then we have that already. Then the next thing we are going to do is look at it. We are having public database. We are having column. And that is not what we want to use. So what are we going to do is we are going to come back here and we are going to click use first row as header. Let's click on that. Then we have the first row as header. Then the next thing we are going to do is let's come back to our zip and we are going to make the zip test. Let's make it a test. Replace, yes. So we have every other thing perfectly done. Then we now go back to our manufacturer. Let's go to the manufacturer and let's just change this to a capital letter. Then you can click enter. Then the next thing we will do here is let's go to transform and let's go to use first row as header. No, let's go to transpose. From transform, let's go to transpose. We want to change the direction of this data, so we click on transpose. So you can see we have our transpose. So we don't actually need this column, so we are going to remove this. Click on this. We are going to remove it. We actually don't need it. Remove. Then the next thing we are going to do is also we remove this column as well. Remove this, we don't want it. Then we remove this, we don't want this as well. So let's remove it. So we have the 3 column. Then we have to also go back to either our transform, then use the first row as header. Let's click on it. Let's wait. First row as header. So we have everything perfectly done. Then the next thing we have to do here before we now close and apply our data, we are going to click on cells and we will go to, let's go to home. From home, let's go to append query. We want to append query, so we only have 2 tables that we want to append. If we have 3, we are going to click on append 3 table. Then we click which table do we want to append. We want to append the international sales, so we have international sales, so we are going to click OK. Then we bring it together. Everything is not done here yet, so we have the next thing to do. The next thing to do, let's come back here. When you see we have, let's load everything. Let's wait and let's allow everything to load. Then I'm going to tell you the next thing that we are going to do here, because we are having null and we should have a null, so we have to change the null. Then what are we going to use to change the null? We are going to use a conditional column. So we are just waiting for it to open. We have a very large data, so that is why we are having this. Now we can see we have a null. When we check the country, we don't have US. So what we are going to do is, if it is null, just make it US. So we click cancel. Then let's go to conditional column, add column. Let's go to add column. Then let's go to conditional column. Then we are going to have this as a custom. So we can just name it that, let's say custom. Then we have our sales column name. Then we should have our column name as our country, and if the country equal to null, then we make it a USA. That is what we're going to do. Then we come down here. From here, we are going to select a column. We are going to make it a column. Then what are we going to do? We are going to make it country. What does that mean? It's what we are saying is X, make it a country. Then we are going to click OK. And let's wait. Now we have everything opened. And let's go to, and let's see. You can see the knowledge join US now. So we are going to load everything. We're going to load everything and let's see if we actually did the right thing. Then just in the next 10-15 seconds, I think everything should be fully open and we'll pick up from there. Let's wait. I think it's almost done. Let's wait. So already we have our 5 data, we have sales, we have products, so everything is done now. You can see initially we don't have a US here. Now we have the USA as a country. Do you know, you remember what we did here? We append this and this together. We make it one. So we click either OK or we cancel it, either of the two. Then we don't actually need this anymore. So we can just right click and remove. We have everything perfectly settled here. Our zip is in text, so remember that our unit is also a whole number, then our revenue, that is good. Then we rename this as a country. So we'll make this country now. This is country, click enter. Then the next thing we are going to do before we finally leave here is we come down here, click on this. Then we are going to right click because we don't need it. We are going to uncheck both. Uncheck this, then come back again. What is the enable load? We don't want to load this because we don't need it. So we are taking it out of the program. So the only thing we need is we need our sales, we need our product, we need our geography, then we need our manufacturer. Let's click it again. You can see include in the reports refresh, no. Enable load, no. So the next thing we do is we go to, that is why, look at it very well. You can see everything is changing here. Look at this. We are having this as in form of italic. So that means already we don't want to load this. Look at all this also. We can see them in form of italic. So it means we don't want to load it. We've already unchecked. Then we'll go back home. From home, we click close and apply. Our data is fully loaded. So the next thing is, remember we have just 4. We have geography, we have manufacturer, we have product, and we have sales. Already the international sales and the sales has been, we have already append the two together. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to save our work. So save as, and I'm going to browse. And from the browse, I'm going to save in my desktop, my download, and I'm going to name it 6 revenue. Already I think I have a 6 revenue report. So let me make it a 6 revenue dashboard. So I have a 6 revenue dashboard, then I'm going to save. So we have everything ready. There are pending changes in your query that haven't been applied. Apply. Let me apply it and let me see what the changes is. Let's wait, it's working on it. Then the first thing we are going to do, we go to, this is our table. You can see we have the table. Let's open everything. This is all the table that we have. Then we go to model view. This is where we have the relationship. As you can see, I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here as well. We have it automatic. So that means Power BI has already automatically connect some of this, for us, so we can see. So we have what we call one-to-many, and we have one-to-many as well. They are connected to the cells. Now, we don't have the geography connected yet, but we'll come back to that to do that. So let's go back to our, this is our report view. Let's go back to our report view, and we're going to pick the first chart. And the first chart we are going to pick is, let's pick a cluster column chart. We are going to pick a cluster column chart, and we are going to use, let's go to our sales. We are going to use sales. First of all, we are going to pick from our total sales. That is where we are going to pick it from. Then we have, our total sales. Let's go back to our total sales, and we are going to pick our revenue. We have our revenue picked. Then we go to our geography. Then we are going to pick the country from the geography. Let's go to the geography and let's pick the country from the geography. So from the geography, as you can see, we have a blank, and we are going to fix this. Where do we have blank from? Then we go to transform our data. Let's go back to transform. We've already done the first, the second, the third. We are already now in the fourth. We've already uploaded our data. We've done data preparation. We've done data modeling and exploration. Then we want to transform our data. We've already done data transformation. So let's go to our geography. And from the geography, let's go to the country. And let's load everything. Let's load everything and let's see, where do we see a blank? Already we have 5 countries which are complete: Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, Mexico, Nigeria, US. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Before I do anything here, let me go to sales and let me check the country from this sales. Remember, we are pinned. Remember, we have some countries in sales where we use conditional column. Remember that? So we don't really have problem with the sales, the country in the sales, because already we've done a conditional column. So let's see and wait for where could the problem actually come from. We're waiting. It's because we have a very large data. That is why it's taking time to load. Then once we're able to count the number of the country we have here, then we'll go back to the geography. Then we are going to see what's actually wrong with the geography. I know we have 7 countries, but I just want to be sure of what I'm doing before actually remove the null, because we have to remove the null from here, which is the blank. It's giving us the blank. We shouldn't have more than 7 countries, I think. So we're still waiting under a few minutes. I think everything will be opened. So it's opened. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is actually those countries that we have. So this is good because we use conditional column to replace the null with United States. Then we go back to the geography. Then we go to the country. Then we load again. Then we have to wait also some few minutes. I think this is not really much. Then we uncheck this. Then we click OK. Everything is perfectly good now. Then we go to close and apply. So let it load and the blank will be removed. Now there's something I would like to show you here. You can see we are picking from cells and we are picking from geography, and we are having everything completely, which is wrong. You know why it's wrong? Because we can't have Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, Mexico, Nigeria, and the other country. They can't have the same number of revenue. It's not actually possible for them to have the same number of revenue. So definitely we believe that something is actually wrong that we have to face. So what should we do? Then we'll go back to our relationship. Then in this relationship, there is no relationship between sex and geography. No relationship, no connection. Then what are we going to do? We pick the country, then we'll put it here. And let's wait and see. Don't worry, everything is fine. A country to country, yes. So we click apply. And let's go back to. So we have this already. So it's giving us many to many. And instead of us to have one to one, it's giving us many to many. That is not a problem. We'll go back to our report. You can see we have different thing entirely. So that is good. And when we checked it, we can see we have US, we have revenue, but still there is still some things to be done here. We are having country, and we are having a country with probably some country might have the same zip number, which is possible, but we want to change the zip number. So that is the next thing we are going to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Then let's go to our table view. Then in our table view, let's go to our geography. Already we have our geography, and we are going to create a new column. Probably we can go to home. From home, we can just make a new column. And I'm just going to copy and paste, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to paste. So we are waiting for the new column to open. So we want to create an additional column, and we want to have zip and country merge together. So that is what we want to do. So we are waiting. So it's because we have a very large data. That is why it's taking time to load sometimes. So you just have to be patient. So we have it opened, and this is the new column that we want to create. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste some things, and I'm going to zoom it for you to see. So you can see what we have. Now, I have zip country. That is the name I gave to you. Zip country is equal to geography zip. This is the geography, and I'm picking this zip. You understand? Then I'm putting this and this in between. Then I'm also picking geography, and I'm picking the country. What am I doing? I'm trying to merge. That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm concatenate. So I'm trying to merge the zip and the country together. So that is just the only thing I did. Zip country is the name, and I make geography equal to, I'm picking zip. Then I'm putting this and this as a space in between. Then I'm picking country. So I'm merging the zip, this zip and this country, I'm merging them together. Then I'm going to click enter, and we are going to see. Let's wait and see what will actually happen. So you can see, so we have each country with a zip code, each country with a zip code, each country with a zip code, each country with a zip code. So that is what we are actually doing. Then we'll wait for it. Then we'll do the same thing for the cells. Then let's go to the sex table. The sex table, we can also create a new column from here, new column. and we are going to just paste what we copied from the geography. Then the next thing is just for us to change sys to zip, then sys to country. That is how. Then we are done from that. So we copy those and we paste. Don't forget, we are not going to have 6 here. We are going to have, geography, we are going to have 6. So you have 6 zip. Then you also have 6 country. So you also have 6 country. Then, so we have it 2 zip. So remove 1. We have it 2 zip. Remove 1 as well. Then we click OK. Then we wait for everything to be done. Then we'll go back to our visualization. We are waiting. Just a few minutes, everything will actually be perfectly done. Under 1 minute, everything will be fine. Then we'll go back to our relationship. Then we are going to change the relationship from what it was before to the new one. Please, if you find this video interesting, if you find this video useful, please subscribe, please comment, and please click the bell so that you'll be notified when we post a new video. So what are we going to do here? We are going to actually delete this connection. Yes, delete. Yes, we don't want it, so we are going to delete this connection. Then the next thing is we'll look for our zip. Okay, we're still waiting. Then let's look for the zip, the one we created. Remember, we have it here and it's also showing you. You can collapse and expand again. It should open. So collapse, open again, it should show. Then the next thing is we are going to just pick. Let's wait. So we're just going to pick this and we are going to put it in this. So we are having zip country, we are having, okay, this is giving us 1 to many. The other one we did, we are having many to many. But in the case of this, we are having 1 to many. So we have everything done. Now you can see we are having 1 to many. Let's wait. So we are having 1 to many relationship, 1 to many relationship, 1 to many relationship. So we go back. Then the next thing is we make it 20%, right? Then our visual border is going to be centered. We make it centered. Then we'll move down to the title. Our title is going to be revenue by country. So we remove this. So we have revenue by country. We centered it. Then we'll move down. We don't need the x-axis, the y-axis, both the title and the value. The x-axis, we don't need the title. So we move down to the x-axis and to the y-axis. So let's move to the x-axis. We don't need the title. Let's move the title. Then for the y, we can close this back. For the y-axis, we don't need the title and the label, because we're going to put our detail about. So let's go to our detail about. And for the detail label, we're going to switch it on. Then we have, then we are going to make it 1,000,000 for it to be more readable. So let's go to position. It's always going to be aside. Then that is fine. Then we'll go to the value. Then let's go to display unit. We want to make it millions. Let's make it millions. That is good because it's more readable than making it in thousands. So we are done with that. So let's click out of it. Then we have this here. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to create a two measure. And the first measure we are going to create is going to be previous year. So we are going to create a measure based on previous year. Then let's go to our sales. Then come back to the three dots beside the sales. Then click it and go to new measure. Then we allow it to be opened. Then I can just zoom this out a bit for you to see. Let's wait. I think it's working on something. Let's zoom it out a bit. Then I'm going to make it PY, which is previous year. PY. So it's going to be the calculate. So we are going to use calculate. So calculate the sum of revenue. So we're going to calculate the sum of the revenue. So let's look for the revenue. So we go to our sales. This is our sales. Then we look for the revenue, the sum of revenue. So we've gotten the sum of revenue, and we are going to use what we call the same period last year. Same period last year. Then we are going to add our dates. Let's pick our date column here. Sorry, I think I'm clicking the wrong thing. Then we are going to pick our date. Then before then, I think I have to create an extra date. So I'm going to make this a placeholder. Same period last year, and we are going to use the date. And the date we are going to use, we don't want to use this date. So let me just make this. So we don't have date created, sales date. We don't actually want to use the sales date. We want to use our own date. So I'm going to just make this a placeholder. So let me just click enter. Don't worry, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that. It might give error, but that is not a problem. Then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create a date. And the date we are going to create is this. Let's go back here. Let's go back to, let's create. Let's go to home. Then from the home, let's go to modeling. Then also we can as well use a new measure. So that is never a problem. From home, then let's go to new measure. I think that actually solved the problem. Then we are going to use date. Let's wait a bit. Then we are going to have it as date. Sorry. So we have date equal to, then what we're going to use calendar format. This is going to be calendar. Then we are going to have a calendar, and that calendar we are going to have dates as well. And then we are going to make it from 2012. So you can see in that calendar we have year, in that date we have year, month and day. So what is our year? Our year is going to be 2012. So already we have the year. Then what about our day, which is our month? We have our month as January. Then we have our day as January as well. Then what next is we close it. Then also we have this, which is the start date and the end date. Then we are going to have the end date. Then the end date is going to be, so we have date as well. This gives us date. Then we have the year, and the year is going to be 2018. Then we have the month. The month is going to give us 12. We're going to use 12, which is the month we're going to use. Then we're going to use the day as 31. I think that's fine. 12:31, then we closed. Then remember, we have to close the second time. Then we click enter. And let's see if we have our date. We should. Oh, the problem is we have our date in the, and I don't want it to be here. I don't want the date to be here, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to delete this. I want the date to be alone. I don't want the date. I'm not going to create the date as a mail. So let me remove the date as a mail. So let me remove this. Delete from model. Yeah. Delete. Don't forget I've already copied. So I'm going to have the date as a table. Let me have this as a table. Let me create a new table. So that will stand alone. Then I will just paste. Let me just paste. Then let me click enter. That have done the job. Then we have our date here, as you can see. So the date is here. Then the next thing we do is we come back to our previous year, which is our mail. Then we use the date that we have. Then we have our date. So that is what we are going to use. So we have our date. Then everything should be fine. If nothing is actually wrong, everything should be fine. So we have our date. Let me see, same period last year. Then we have our date. So we should have more than 2. So it's saying PY calculate the sum of sales revenue, same period last year. Then we are having our date. This is our date, and we are having date. So we shouldn't have any problem. What's happening? Unexpected parameter, same period last year. Unexpected parameter. What is unexpected parameter actually? Are you doing? So it's actually fees. Then we can just enter now. So we have our previous year. Then the second one that we are going to create is we are going to create percentage. We want to see the percentage of growth. We want to see how far our revenue has grown. So we come back here. Then we are going to create new mail. Then from the new mail, we are going to name it percentage growth. I'm going to name percentage growth, and it will give us. So we are going to divide. That's the formula we're going to use. We're going to divide our sales revenue. Remember, we have our sales revenue. So we're going to divide our sum of sales revenue. The sum of the sales revenue, we're going to divide it by the previous year. So we have our sum of sales revenue. Let's go to the 6 revenue. We have our sum of sales revenue. So we are going to divide it. We are going to minus it. We are going to minus it from the previous year. So we want to see actually what we've gotten. So we are going to minus it from our PY. Then if anything happen, give us back our PY, which is the previous year. So that is what we actually going to do. Then the next thing is we close it back. Then we click enter. So we are done with every mail that we have to create. The next thing is we can just close this. We don't actually need it anymore. So we bring this down. Then we can just save our work. Let's have our work saved. we're going to create is we're going to create our line chart, and we want our revenue and a percentage of growth by here. So how should we do that? Or how can we do that? We are going to use a line chart because we would like to see growth. So because of that, we are picking our line chart. Let's pick the line chart here. Okay. Then we pick our line chart. Then from the line chart, we are going to pick our date, and we are going to pick our revenue. Then we are going to pick as well as our growth. So the first thing we are going to pick now is we pick our date. So let's pick our date. We pick this date, and which is the new date that we create. So we have this. And then second thing that we are going to do is we go to our sales and we pick our revenue. As you can see, there is we couldn't see anything because this shouldn't give us, this is not the right thing we should have. Do you know why we're having this is because there's no relationship between the date and 6. So let's go back to our relationship, and from there we're going to create a relationship. So we bring our dates here. So let's bring the dates and let's make it closer to the, or probably we put it somewhere around here. Then we are going to pick this date. Then we are going to attach it to this date, and let's wait and see. Yes, so this is called one-to-many relationship. So we already have our date connected, and let's wait and see if the chart we actually have is going to give us the right chart. We are waiting in just a moment. We should be done. Then we go back to see. So we call this one-to-many. Just as this now. This is one-to-many. Every one of them is one-to-many. But don't forget, in the case of geography, before we create a zip country, we were also using many-to-many before we now change it to one-to-many. So you can say this is one and this is many relationship. Please, if you find this video interesting, if you find this video useful, please subscribe, please comment, please like, please also share, and please also tell your friends about this channel. You will learn a lot from this YouTube channel, Peter Analytics. So let's go back to our report view. Then from our report view, you can see everything changed because already now we have a relationship connected to that. Then we are going to pick our growth, and we are going to put the growth. We're going to put the growth in the two tips here. Another thing we can actually do is, because we don't want the day, we can just remove the day. We don't want the month, we can remove the month as well. We don't want the quarter, we can remove the quarter, and we can just leave it like that. And then we pick our growth and put our growth in the two pits. And let's see, after putting it, you see what do you see that we have in 2016. We have a sum of revenue of 324 billion something. Then we have a growth of 0.21. Then we are going to change our growth to percentage because we have not changed it to percentage. We come back here, we click this percentage, then it changed to percentage immediately. Then let me see. Already you can see we have 20%. So the next thing is we are going to format this, and we're having a sort already, so that is good. So we have this. Then from the three dot we go to format. Then from the format, let's go to size and style. We don't need a background, we need a shadow, and we're going to make it 20% white, don't forget. And we're going to make the position to be centered. Then we'll move down a bit to our title. So we are going to have revenue. revenue and percentage of growth. Revenue and percentage of growth by year. Exactly, that's what we want. Then scroll down. Then we want to make it center. That's why we are centering it. Then we move down a bit. Then we move to x-axis and the y-axis. This is the x-axis. We don't need the x-axis title. This is the title, the year. Already we have this as a year. Do you know why we are doing that? Because anybody that sees that already will know that this is year. So we don't have to bother ourselves, but we need a value. So that is the value. Then we go to the y-axis. For the y-axis, we don't need everything. The title, the value, we don't need them. Then we are going to, let's move down a bit. Then we'll go to grid line. We are not going to remove the grid line. We need the grid line. So just leave the grid line this time around. Then the next thing that I want us to do is this. We go to marker. From the marker, we are going to switch it on. And we are going to increase the shape. Then we're going to make the color red. So that is what we are going to do here. Good. Then we go to our data label. Then we switch on our data label. Then we are going to make it under. Let's go to the value. We go to the value. Oh, before the value, let's go to the position. This is the position. Data label, go to the position we want it to be under, because some are missing. So already, also this is also missing somehow. That is why we are going to reduce this a bit. So let's go back to the marker. I want to reduce to about 6. Let me see. So this is actually good. Then the next thing I was thinking I should include. Let's go to shade. But the first one, we didn't use shade. So I'm just thinking if I should put shade here. Let's see. Let's go back to, this is a y-axis. Let's go back to, let's move forward. Let's move forward. This is marker. And this is shape. And this is shade area. Let me see. Then we have it this way, but we are not using the shade. We just want something a little because of the line. That is what we actually want. So we are done with this. We just have to reduce it a bit. Then we put it somewhere around here. We are going to adjust everything later. Then we are going to our revenue by category. We want to see which of those categories that actually give us the highest revenue, and we are going to use our cluster bar chart to achieve that revenue by category. So we bring this down here, then we reduce a bit, then we go to our revenue first, then also we have our category. Where could we find our category? Let's go to our manufacturer. We can find it in manufacturer. Let's go to products. And let's have a category from the product. So we have our category already. You can see we have urban, we have rural, we have mixed, we have youth. Then I'm going to reduce this. Then we go back to style and size. As usual, remove the background. Then the shadow, we need it. Then we are going to make it 20% darker. Then we are going to make it position. We're going to make it center. Then we move down to the title. So it's going to be revenue by category. We are not going to use the sum. So we remove the sum. The next thing is we centered it. Let's have it centered. Then we move to the x-axis and the y-axis. Already you know in the y-axis we don't need the title, but we need the value. So this is the y-axis, remove the title. But in the x-axis we don't need both the title and the value because we are going to put our data labels. So we switch it off, we both switch them off. Then we move down to where our data label is. We switch our data label on. Then we are not going to have it in billion. It's better for us to have it in million because it will be more readable. I hope you are getting the logic. Then we'll move down to where the position, the value. Then we want to see display unit. Then we'll make it millions. Let's actually see. That's good. Then we'll go back to the position of the data label, then we want to make it outside hand. Already we have it this good. So let's click out of it and let's see we have the right thing done. Then we'll move this to the side. Then we are still going to make use of this 2 times more because we are going to have our revenue by segment. So let's copy this. We are going to copy this. Let's copy this. We are going to copy this and let's paste. So we copy this and paste. The only thing we are going to change from this is we are going to change from revenue to segment. So from category, we are going to change it to segment. You can see we are having a correct chart because there is a relationship between those things that we have. So we don't have to do anything else here. So we are having this, then we are having this as well, which is perfectly good. Let me move it up a bit. If there's anything under, no, nothing more. So we have this code. Then the next thing we are going to do is we change the title. It's not category, it's segment. So we just have this as segment. This is segment. We have it as segment. I think that's good. So then we are still going to copy this and make use of it once more. Then we'll copy, then we'll paste. Then I'm going to move this up here. Then I'm going to move this down here. Then for the hub, I'm going to use revenue by manufacturer. So we are going to remove the segment. Then we'll go to the manufacturer table. Then we check on the manufacturer. That is exactly what we need. We can see these are all the manufacturer. Then the only thing we are going to change, I think you see the logic that we make use of one, we use one, we format it, then we are able to use it as long as it's related to what you are about to do the second time. So we have revenue by manufacturer. So we have manufacturer, revenue by manufacturer. So we're already done with this. So we can actually put this somewhere around here. Then the next thing we are going to do before we go to our KPIs, we need the revenue and the previous year. So we want to see our target. Then what are we going to do? In this case, we are going to use gauge. So we are taking this gauge and we are bringing it down here. And then we are going to pick, first of all, we are going to pick our revenue, which is the normal thing because that is our main target. So you can see we have 2.91 billion. Then the next thing is, what is our target value? So we want to see the last year. The last year value is our target value. So we are going to pick this previous year sales. So we are going to put it in our target value and let's see. So you can see we have this. So I'm going to change this to euro. So I'm going to change. So we have 1.7 billion. Let's go back to this. Our target here. Let me go back to this. Let me change the currency and let me use this and let's see. So this is our revenue. We have a revenue of 2.91 billion. Or let me put it the half revenue. I'm just using as if it is our complaint that we did now. So it's for a customer though. We have a revenue of 2.91 billion. Then we have a target value. What is we want to see the previous sales last year. And the previous sales last year is 1.17 billion. As you can see. It's really moving well. So the next thing we are going to do is, we don't want the background. Remember to remove that. Then we go to our shadow. Then we make it 20% darker. Then we make it centered. That is the only thing we just have to do. Then we go to, you remember this is 2018, this is 2017. Okay, I think it's from this line chart. So we go to revenue by, that is our title, remove the sum and have everything, revenue and the previous year's sales. So we can see what we have last year compared to what we have this year. So we have this here. Then the next thing I want us to do is, I think there's something missing here. Let's go back to this line chart. This line chart, we don't want it in billion. Let me put it this way. We don't want it in billion. It's showing billion and we don't want it in billion. We actually want it in million, so it will be more readable. So let's go to data label, or let's go to the value display units. In the value is million. Let's see, you can see, so this is actually good than before. So we bring it here. Oh, sorry. So we bring it down and put it here. So the next thing we are going to do, before then, I think it will be better for us to arrange this. Let's arrange. Then after we've arranged, we can now create our KPIs. So this is going to be in the middle. We have this in the middle. Then I have the gauge here. I have it here. Then the next thing is I have this here as well. Then I have this here. I'm still going to move this forward up a bit. Let me have it. When it is time for me to readjust, I will just. Then this is in the middle. We have this here also. Then we have revenue by category. So we have the revenue by category here. Then we have the revenue by segment here. Then we have this here. So let's just adjust it first and let's make it more. The next thing we are going to do here is, we can actually close this, is we're going to have our KPIs. And let's begin to pick the first one. We only have 4 KPIs. We have total revenue, we have total unit cost, we have price, we have previous year sales, then we have percentage of growth. Then we pick our card. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to format it. Then I'm going to reuse it. We are going to format this. Then we reuse it for other ones. So the next thing we are going to pick is, we pick our revenue. This is our revenue. We go to format. Come to these 3 dots. Then you go to format. Then we go to style and size. Remember, we don't want the background. We don't want, we need a shadow, so we want it. So we put it on. Then we're going to make it 20%. Then we're going to make it center. We may likely change the shadow later on. Then we don't want the title, which is the label. So we are going to search on our title and we are going to make it total revenue. So we're having the total revenue. Then we are going to center it. Then we are going to center it already. Then the next thing is we reduce it to 13. And let's go to where our colored value is. Our color value is actually too big. We are making it 20, that is good. Then we change the font. We change the font to, let's change it to Sego. Yeah, we want it that way. So this is actually what we need. Then we copy this. Let me check out exactly. Then we copy this. Now we are going to into 3 places. 1. So let me see if it is not more than. If it is more than, we just have to remove it. We have the second one to be here, then we have the third one. So I can actually move this down a bit here. Have this here as well. Then, okay, let me move this closer to this. Let me move this closer to this as well. So we just have to change the name. So this is we have total revenue. Then we need a total unit. So let's remove from revenue. Then we go to the total unit. Then we have the title change. Let's go to the title. So we have total unit, not revenue. Then we check out of it. Then we go to the second one. Then we are going to have it. So we need to copy one more. Then we are going to have it as price. So let's remove revenue. So let's go to price. 130 million. Then we go to where the title is. Let's go to our title. We are not using total. We just want price. Or probably we'll make it a total price as well. Total price. Then we'll go to this. Then we are going to make percentage. You go to previous year. Then we make it. Let's go to the title. So we have our P, previous year sales. Then we are going to copy this. And we are going to use it for the last one. Then we have this. Then we are going to remove previous years. Then we are going to have our percentage, which is percentage of growth. Let's go to the title. Where's our title? So we have percentage. Percentage growth. So we have percentage growth. So we are done with our KPIs. Then the last but not the least is our filter. And we are going to use the year as the filter. So we take this. We'll use it. Then we pick the year. Let's go to our date. Hierarchy. Then we pick the year. Then let's go to the settings and we are going to make it a list. It is in between. Then let's make it a title first. Good. Then we're going to bring this somewhere around here. Don't bother about the blank. 17, 18. Then we just have to reduce it a bit. And that's good. Then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to include our background. Then we can close this. We can close this. We still have one or two more work to do. Then we go to our canvas background and I'm going to import a background. Then we try our background. Let's see what we have. This is our background. You can see we have a wonderful shot here. So The next thing we are going to do before then, we just have to, let's adjust this a bit. Let's adjust this a bit. And let me check out of it and let me see. We still have some space opened. I want it to be closed a bit like the other ones. Let me see. So we have that. That is good. We are going to leave this way. Then we are going to move this a bit down here. So everything is fine. Do you know the next thing I'm going to do is this? I'm just going to change everything here back to white. That is what I'm going to do. Then before then, I'm just going to click on this, hold my control key on my keyboard, click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this as well. Then I will go to format. Let me see if they are already opened. Then I'm going to change the title to white. Then I'll go to the value, colored value, and I'm going to change them to this color. I have it that way. Then I want to reduce it a bit. We have everything good. We check out of it. We still have to do some things the way we did it. Let's move this closer to this. Let's move it closer. Let's move this closer as well. So we are still going to move this closer. So we move this closer. Then we'll move this closer. Then we'll move this closer. So the next thing is I'm going to change everything to white as you've seen. So we can just come to this. And let's go to the title first. We'll make the title white. And let's scroll down. Let's go to, we don't have y-axis, so let's go to s-axis. Then we have to make it white as well. Then we go to the value. We have value or our detail label. Let's go to the value. Then we have everything white as well, perfectly. Then we come down to this. The first thing we are able to level answer is the value, so let's make it white. Then let's go to the x-axis. From the x-axis, so this should be the value for the x-axis. Then we make it white. Then we'll come down here. Then we'll make this white. Then we'll go to the title. Let's move up. Then we'll have this as white. Then let's go to detail label. Please, if you find this video interesting, please subscribe to this channel. So we have this done already. So everything shouldn't take us more than a few minutes. Then we have this. We have this done. Then we'll go back to the title. Can we just move up a bit? Let's have the title. We have the title. No, we have the x-axis. Then we have the title this time around. Everything done. Then we'll come back to this. Then we have the first thing is the title, change it to y. Then we go to our y-axis. It's already opened. Then we have it white. Then we go to our data label, our value. Then we have it white. Then we come down to this. Then we have value white. Then we go to our target and this. I think they remain the color. So we go to white. So we go to title, and we make our title white. Then the next thing is we come down to this. Then we go to property. We go to advanced. Then we switch this off. Let me see. Let's go back again. We don't want the background, so good. Then we're going to adjust this a bit. We are actually moving closer to the end. Let me see. I don't want it to touch. But I can actually move this down. Let me see. No. I think it will be better we have it somewhere like this. And let's have this hop. So we have everything perfect like that. So we're going to have our title. So let's go to, okay, we have to move this either up or down. So because of the length, I think we move this down to rhyme with it. We'll move this down to rhyme with it as well. Then we click out. So we're having it perfectly done now. Then the next thing we just have to do, we need our title. Let's go to insert and let's go to it, and we are just going to reduce this a bit. Reduce this, and we're going to have our 6. Let me make everything capital letter. Going to have our 6 revenue report. 6 revenue report. Then we're going to have this centered. Let's increase it a bit, like to 14%. Then we go to format. We don't want this, remember. And let's make this white first of all. White. Then we go to the shadow. We are making it, okay, switch it on first. We are making it 20% white. Then we are making it center. The last but not the least, we would like to try the filter, the slider. We actually want to see what we have in Asia. Let me start from 2018. In 2018, you can see we have a revenue of 392.78 million. Then we have a total unit of 1 million. Then we have total price of 1.30. 6 previous 6, which is previous year 6. We have 363 million. Then we have growth of 8.20% growth. So you can just play with all this. So this is what we have in 2018. You can see we have a revenue. This is 2018. I think we didn't change anything here. Let me remove this back. So I didn't change the title. Oh my God. So we go back. Let's go to format. Let's go to format. We are calling it a day already. So format. Let me go to the title. And let me have it as white. So revenue by growth. Then we have this. So, and let's go back to 2017. In 2017, you can see, what do we have? We have a revenue of 363 million, then we have a growth of 11.8%. So in 2016, let's see what we have. You can see we have revenue. This is the revenue. Then we have the growth of 20.99%. This is how what we do. Then we go to 2015 already. Everything is interconnected and it will give you the best of it. Once again, we've come to the end of this real life project. Then the next thing is, before we call it a day, let's come down here. We are going to format this as well, and I want to make it the same way as the other. So we go to, let me go to background. Do we have a shadow? Let me put a shadow and let me make it 20% wide, and let me center it, and let me just exactly. Then I'm going to move this here. That is all for today. Once again, my name remains Peter Analytics. You are highly welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, what we do, we build visualization around data using Microsoft Power BI, as you can see, using Microsoft Excel. Then also we have tutorial based on SQL beginner, and then also we have some project going on Python and also machine learning. Please, if you find this video interesting, if you find this video useful, please like, please comment, please subscribe, please share, and click the bell so you'll be notified when we upload a next video. Once again, thank you for taking this wonderful ride with me. Once again, thank you. See you.